Back for more from TD Garden. I am Josue Pavon alongside Bobby Manning with the Celtics top the Nuggets 131-112. And it was Grant Williams who got the start for the third consecutive game. Another start for Grant, another win for the Celtics. 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists in this one. And it looks like he's going to be the starter at least for the foreseeable future, right? That's what Joe Mazzulla told us. Bobby, what do you think about that? Is that something that was always in the cards for Grant? And what does he mean for this starting unit?
Well, I asked Joe pregame, and he talked a little bit about the defense that they're able to start games with. Obviously, you're a little bit bigger with Grant out there instead of White. And I was questioning it at first, right? Because White's been really good defensively for them this year, and obviously is a secondary playmaker for them. But the timing worked out because Brogdon gets hurt, White becomes that second unit point guard, and Grant's out there as a spacer and a defender with that starting unit that's looked pretty good defensively so far. I think this is now 3 straight games, I'd say, where they've been at their best all season defensively. Memphis, Detroit, and Denver tonight. The key with Grant is he can defend point guards. You look at his defense on Ja. Joe loved that in the first game. He was obviously going to pick up Jaden Ivey in that second game. And then tonight, Jamal Murray. So Grant on point guards, super impressive. And then today, they were looking for him to be a little more aggressive offensively, and he did that as well with 13 points.
Yeah, we got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander coming into this building. That's the next time the Celtics would be back at TD Garden after their matchup against the Pistons. So I'm excited to see how he'll match up there. But yeah, I agree with that, Bobby, especially with Derek White coming off the bench, helping those guys in that unit. Which they got from Peyton Pritchard. We'll see if that translates once again. If Malcolm Brogdon's unable to go, he's still considered day-to-day for that second matchup against the Detroit Pistons. But I think what Grant does on the defensive end, when he's coming up with stops, when he's feeling himself, so to speak, when they can string together stops and he's in the middle of that's when you start to see his offense start to pop. And that's exactly what we saw in this one, especially in the second half.
Yeah, first play of the game, Jokic goes right at him. There's obviously a little bit of history there in terms of the Batman stuff. I'm sure Jokic hates that. So he goes right at him, and Grant gets a stop on him right away. And Jokic was great in this one, but they were defending him well as a team and forcing him into foul trouble. He got on that big run midway through the game that just came to a screeching halt because of foul trouble. Grant plays a role in that. Horford was great tonight too, and then Marcus Smart, always a force inside defensively when he can switch in there. So that starting lineup, you think of Al, Tatum, Brown, Grant, and Smart. You can switch as aggressively as you did last year with those 5. So I'm sure that's a big part of what Mazzulla likes with that group as well.
Absolutely. And this segment is brought to you by Calm. Head over to calm.com/garden where you can get 40% off a premium subscription. That's calm.com/garden. How much does he make life easier for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, though? Because I don't know if this thing is a coincidence. I mean, these guys have been tearing it up since game 1, but these 3 games in a row, it just seems like, man, whether it's Tatum continuing to score over 30 points or Jaylen Brown, he scored 24 in this one, and it was very efficient. It took him to the second half to miss his first shot of the night, and I'm just wondering if Grant Williams has something to do with that.
For sure, the spacing. It's all they say around this team now. Joe talks about it every day. They're embracing it. And Grant is the best spacer on the team. When you think of his ability to beat closeouts when guys really run out on him as a three-point shooter, and then, of course, to hit those shots, still shooting above 50% from 3 this year. So he's at another level offensively. Again, you saw his versatility in this one. Had a nice kick-out pass to Horford to end the half. You had another dish out, I think, for an assist at one point. 4 assists in the game. So he's more than what he was last year. It's nice for him to be able to show that with the starters there. Because when you think of White, Smart, Horford's off to a great start from 3, but that's not the best spacing in the world with the starters. Now I think you get the best of both worlds when it comes to Grant as a defender and Grant as a spacer.
Absolutely. That was 25 for Jaylen Brown. I said 24. 34 for Jason Tatum and 21 for Al Horford. And this segment, of course, is also brought to you by Athletic Greens. Head over to athleticgreens.com/garden where you can get a year's supply of vitamin D and 5 travel packs. That's athleticgreens.com/garden. What happened Saturday night? I know it's the Detroit Pistons. I know we've seen these two teams go at it, and the Celtics didn't have a whole lot of trouble with them, but it is the second night of a back-to-back. No word if Al Horford is going to be in the lineup. No word if Malcolm Brogdon is going to come back. Could this potentially be a trap game, Bobby? What happens?
A little bit, yeah. I think Detroit gave you a tough time for a stretch on Wednesday. Like you said, probably no Horford in this game, you would imagine. So you lean on Luke, you lean on Vonleh, those guys again. But they scrapped out a win in New York last Saturday, an even tougher team than Detroit. I think think New York actually smashed Detroit tonight. If there wasn't an update as of the time we got on here. So Detroit's on a back-to-back too. They tried their best to outmuscle the Celtics, chase those offensive rebounds. You had that nice stretch with Jalen Duren on Wednesday, but in the end, the Celtics just started unleashing those threes again, running the floor, and it was a blowout. So I think it'll probably be close for a stretch, but I can't see Detroit knocking off the Celtics the way they're playing right now.
I think this could be a night where we see Tatum and Brown do one of those, let's go for 60, 65, something like that.
They did that on Wednesday,
But
right?
an efficient performance, right? And which that's what they've been doing lately. I think that's going to be the key for them, for the Celtics creating enough separation and grab a big win in the second half.
Yep, for sure. Playmaking, efficient shots. I think Brown started 10 of 12 in this one tonight, so you love what he's doing right now. He talked after the game about getting the ball in his hands more, which he wanted. I think it's nice that Joe, even though he wants him to do certain things, I wrote about this on CLNS Media, the screening off ball that Brown's doing. You're seeing him get playmaking opportunities here too, which is good coaching from Joe. Like, we want you to do these things, but we'll let you do the things you want to in spurts. And, Brown's been awesome this week. It was a big week after a weird start to the season for him.
It's like a compromise, right? I feel like at the end of that third quarter, especially, right, when Joe Mazzulla grabbed him aside, they were kind of going back and forth. I feel like they were just having a thorough discussion about how he wanted him to be more assertive and sort of take the lead. And I think all of that is relevant in terms of seeing Jalen become much more efficient on offense and being much more involved.
Yep, for sure. I love where Jalen's at right now. You love where everybody's at. Everybody knows their role. That's what Horford was talking about after the game, and that's what makes this offense so deadly right now.
Absolutely. And we'll see if the Celtics can continue this winning streak Saturday night at Detroit against the Pistons. You already know. Head over to clnsmedia.com for continuous coverage. Of course, follow us on Twitter. And, of course, hit subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. The Boston Celtics top the Denver Nuggets from TD Garden, 131 to 112. I am Josue Pavon. He is Bobby Manning. And we'll see you guys next time.